Good morning. Our new class is about the serotoninergic system in our body. Serotonin is one among the important autocoids in our body. We have plenty of autocoids in our body, which includes serotonin. Serotonin is also known as 5-hydroxytryptamine and histamine, prostaglandins, leukotrienes, platelet activating factors. And what do you mean by the autocoids? They are endogenous substances with complex physiological as well as pathophysiological roles. And some even act as neurotransmitters in our central nervous system. Coming to serotonin, just like histamine, serotonin is also an amine autocoid. And in the coming slides, we will see the synthesis, degradation, and the types of serotoninergic receptors and few drugs which are acting on these serotoninergic receptors. And the ergot alkaloids is one of the important group of drugs which also acts through these receptors. Next is the synthesis and degradation of serotonin. Serotonin is synthesized from the amino acid tryptophan, and the tryptophan undergone hydroxylation by the enzyme hydroxylase, and it leads to 5-hydroxytryptophan, and this intermediate undergone decarboxylation to form 5-hydroxytryptamine or serotonin. After formation, this serotonin can be taken up by different cells, for example platelet, by a serotonin transporter, and inside the cell this serotonin is stored in certain vesicles with the help of another transporter like vesicular monoamine transporter. Later the degradation of serotonin it takes place with the help of monoamine oxidase enzyme, and which leads to the formation of 5-hydroxy indole acetic acid, and also by certain other enzymes which are less important as compared to monoamine oxidase enzyme. For example, enzymes like dehydrogenase, which converts 5-hydroxytryptamine into 5-hydroxytryptophan. And there are certain drugs which can act in the synthesis and storage of this serotonin. For example, tricyclic antidepressants as well as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. They inhibit the uptake of serotonin into the cells by inhibiting the transporter. Certain drugs like reserpine, they can inhibit the storage of serotonin. Coming to the receptors in the serotoninergic system. Previously, the receptors had been classified into D type as well as M type, but later it's replaced by the current system. Now we have only one system. That means 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors are classified into 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 also includes the related receptors, which includes 5, 6, 7. Coming to the individual ones, 5-hydroxytryptamine 1. It's an autoreceptor. It inhibits the serotoninergic neural activity in the brain, and it's further divided into different subtypes. And 1A is present in the raphe nucleus as well as hippocampus. The certain drugs, for example, anti-anxiety drugs like buspirone acts through these receptors. And 5-hydroxytryptamine 1D, 1B receptors. This is the receptor which has a significant role in the management of migraine, because certain drugs, for example triptans, sumatriptan, rizatriptan, they act through this receptor. And the second receptor is 5-hydroxytryptamine 2, and among these 2A is previously known as D type receptor. It's a most important post junctional receptor, mediates the direct actions of 5-hydroxytryptamines like vascular and visceral smooth muscle contraction, aggregation of platelets, neuronal activation, and a drug ketanserin blocks this receptor. And the next is 5-hydroxytryptamine 3 receptor, 5-HT3. It's previously an M type receptor, depolarizes neurons by gating the cation channels, and it elicits the reflex effects of 5-hydroxytryptamine. For example, emesis, peristalsis in the gut, bradycardia, transient hypotension, apnea, itching, pain. And ondansetron is a important anti-emetic drug which acts by blocking this receptor. And 5-HT4, it's mediate intestinal secretions, augmentation of peristalsis. We have certain drugs like cisapride, renzapride, a selective 5-HT4 agonist. Among these receptors, all are G protein coupled receptor except 5-hydroxytryptamine 3. Except 5-HT3, all are G protein coupled receptor, and this 5-HT3 is a ligand gated cation channel. Coming to the actions of serotonin, first the effect on cardiovascular system. Actually, serotonin can produce constriction as well as dilatation. The constriction is by direct effect and dilatation is by the release of endothelium derived relaxing factor, and so the net effects will be complex, and there will be usually constriction for the large vessels, and the action on visceral smooth muscles, which includes it act as a potent stimulator in the gastrointestinal tract, so there will be increased peristalsis and precipitation of diarrhea, and bronchi smooth muscles are usually constricted and the actions on other smooth muscles are usually feeble. Next is the effect on platelets. Following vascular injury, there is initial aggregation of platelets, and the serotonin which is released from these platelets acts on different receptors. By its action on 5-hydroxytryptamine 2A receptor, it promotes platelet aggregation as well as vasoconstriction. So there will be thrombus formation and hemostasis as well as vascular occlusion. And by its action on 5-HT1, it leads to vasodilatation. Serotonin inhibits gastric secretion, which includes both the acid as well as pepsin, and also increases the mucus production. That means it has a gastroprotective role. Coming to the pathophysiological roles of serotonin. Serotonin is said to have significant role in the pathogenesis of several conditions. For example, in CNS, anxiety, depression as well as psychosis, and other conditions include migraine, carcinoid syndrome, nausea as well as vomiting, hypertension and variant angina. So the drugs which can modulate the serotonergic system can have a significant role in the management of these conditions. And now we will see certain important groups of drugs which have a significant role in the 5-hydroxytryptaminergic system. So the first one is uptake inhibitor. Uptake inhibitors means these drugs inhibits the uptake of serotonin into the cells. They inhibit serotonin transporters. For example, we have selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors like fluoxetine as well as sertraline, and tricyclic antidepressants, for example imipramine. And the second group is storage inhibitors. That means we have reserpine as the member. Reserpine acts by inhibiting vesicular monoamine transporter. That means the storage into the storage vesicle is interrupted. And the third is degradation inhibitors. The major enzyme which catalyzes the degradation of serotonin is monoamine oxidase. So any drugs which inhibits this enzyme which result in the inhibition of the degradation, so the duration of action of serotonin is prolonged. We have non-selective as well as selective monoamine oxidase A inhibitors. The non-selective inhibitors include tranylcypromine and selective includes chlorgelin. So we are not going to discuss in detail about all these drugs because we have already seen these drugs in CNS. And now certain drugs acting on the 5-hydroxytryptaminergic receptors. For example, buspirone, gepirone and ipsapiron, they are anti-anxiety drugs. They act on the 5-hydroxytryptamine 1A receptor. And triptan, sumatriptan, rizatriptan, frovatriptan, etc. They act on the 5-hydroxytryptamine 1D, 1B receptor that we will be discussing later, and they are effective in the management of migraine. And certain other drugs like methotrexate, risperidone, ketanserin, they act on 5-hydroxytryptamine 2A, 2C receptor. And we have another important clinically useful drug, ondansetron, ramosetron, palinosetron. They are acting as an antagonist in the 5-hydroxytryptamine 3 receptor. They are mainly effective for chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting. That has been discussed in management of the nausea as well as vomiting. And the 5-HT4 agonist drugs like cisapride, mosapride drugs, they are useful as prokinetic agents. Now we will see about ergot alkaloids. Ergot alkaloids are the chemical substances present in a fungus, Claviceps purpura. When we have natural preparations as well as semi-synthetic preparations, natural includes ergometrin or ergonovin, ergotamine and ergotoxin. Semi-synthetic preparations are dihydroergotamine, dihydroergotoxin, bromocriptine as well as methotrexate. These act on different classes of receptors. For example, 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors 1 and 2, dopaminergic receptors and as well as alpha adrenergic receptors. And the pharmacological actions. First is in the CNS. Through acting on the 5-HT receptor, it produces hallucinations, and they are also beneficial in the management of migraine. And through dopaminergic receptors, they produces extrapyramidal effect. And the bromocriptine like agent produces a reduction in the release of prolactin. And smooth muscle, vascular smooth muscles as well as uterine smooth muscles are contracted, and the sensitivity of uterine smooth muscle to this ergot alkaloids depending upon the gestational age. That means maximum sensitivity is nearly towards 10. Ergotamine acts as a partial agonist as well as antagonist on the 5-HT1, 2 as well as alpha receptors, and it produces sustained vasoconstriction, visceral smooth muscle contraction, and it's also a potent emetic agent. The dihydroergotamine, which is less potent vasoconstrictor, and on comparing to the ergotamine, it primarily constricts capacitance vessels as well as it's a weak emetic agent. Dihydroergotoxin. This ergot agent has potent alpha blocking property. So the vasoconstricting property of other ergot does not seen with this drug, and it also acts on 5-HT receptors. And this drug is said to have certain effect on the release of acetylcholine in the cerebral cortex. So this drug is preferred in the management of dementia. And we have bromocriptine. This ergot alkaloid has prominent action on dopaminergic receptor. It's a dopaminergic agonist drug, so it's preferred in Parkinsonism. And by the same action, it decreases or inhibits the release of prolactin. It's also an emetic agent. Ergometrin or ergonovin, it's a powerful uterine stimulant. So this agent is beneficial in the management of postpartum hemorrhage. Coming to the uses of ergot. So our ergot alkaloids are preferred for the management of migraine, postpartum hemorrhages, Parkinson's disease, hyperprolactinemia, carcinoid syndrome, as well as dementia. And in carcinoid syndrome, the effects are mainly due to the release of serotonin. So these effects can be blocked by using our certain drugs, for example methisergide. These drugs have variable oral absorption, and the bioavailability is higher after rectal as well as sublingual administration. And these ergots are metabolized in liver and excreted primarily through the bile, and they have the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. And the adverse effects include nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps, vasospasm, weakness, and the toxic effects leads to cyanosis, mainly due to ischemia, which leads to cyanosis as well as ischemia in the limbs. And these drugs are contraindicated if the patients have ischemic heart disease, peripheral vascular disease, hypertension, pregnancy, or liver diseases. Now we'll be discussing about triptans. They are selective agonists at the 5-HT1D1P receptors. They are the first line drugs for the management of migraine, and they are preferred in moderate to severe cases and also in certain mild cases which are not responding to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We have sumatriptan, rizatriptan, naratriptan, solmitriptan and frovatriptan. Sumatriptan is one of the prototype member in the triptan group, and the 5-HT1D1B receptor mediated constriction of dilated cranial blood vessels, which is the basis of its anti-migraine effect. And this drug is rapidly and completely absorbed following subcutaneous administration, but its oral bioavailability is only 15%, and we can administer this drug through a nasal route also. And this drug is metabolized by the enzyme monoamine oxidase A and is excreted through the urine. And the adverse reactions associated with its use include tightness in the head and chest, paresthesias, dizziness as well as weakness. Although the severe side effects are very rare, it may lead to bradycardia, coronary vasospasm as well as myocardial infarction. And these triptans are also contraindicated in ischemic heart disease, hypertension, epilepsy, pregnancy, hepatic as well as renal impairment. And the Triptans and ergot should not be administered within 24 hours of each other because the added vasospasm it's aggravated, so it leads to severe complication in the each systems of in our body. Rizatriptan is a congener of sumatriptan with high oral bioavailability as compared to sumatriptan, and it has a faster onset of action. Solmitriptan, it generates active metabolites and is having a bioavailability of 40% following oral administration. Naratriptan is a long-acting agent and its 50% is excreted unchanged through the urine. Provatriptan, it's the longest acting triptan with a T-half of around 26 hours. And that's all about serotonin. Thank you.